Hello there, CryptoWisers. It's your good friend Milton here again with another video for you guys. Today is a special one because as I record this, Bitcoin has broken through the $50,000 mark. That is right. This is the highest price that Bitcoin has been at for over 2 years, I believe. We see here, this is the Bitcoin 1 hour chart. We hit 50 and got rejected. We hit it again, and now we have broken through, which is a big deal. You know, that 50, any of those big numbers, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, those big round numbers, not only is there resistance on the charts at those prices, but just psychologically, that those tend to be prices that have a lot of resistance that it's hard to break through of. But then once we do break through, it becomes kind of major support there. And so we'll see here today, we're seeing a lot of momentum here for Bitcoin breaking through that $50,000 barrier. So going to be exciting to see where we land today and for the rest of this week. Remember, we are only 64 days away from Bitcoin halving. Really interested to see what happens here. In the last cycle, the last time we had a Bitcoin halving, of course, was in 2020 when COVID crash. So if we look at the weekly chart, we'll be able to see that COVID crash. Here it is here. We had that big crash down to about 4,000, and then we had the bull run happen from there. So from 4,000, we went all the way up to 16.9. I don't anticipate a huge crash like that pre-halving this time around. That was, I think, a bit of a black swan event with COVID. But we could see a dip also, but also new news is the ETF. So we'll see. Could we actually hit all-time highs before the halving? That would be very interesting to see what that would do, propel us to do post-halving. But anyway, I've got my Bitcoin bags so separately, and I'm just happy to kind of keep watching Bitcoin strength there on that side of my bags. But really my focus, as I've been saying in these videos, my focus right now is on altcoins, because definitely think that the altcoin season is going to start at some point. We've seen some momentum. Obviously, we've seen some nice gains over the last few months, but in my mind, this is just getting started. So will we see some pullbacks? Sure, but we have not seen really a red hot bull market yet. I anticipate that to happen basically sometime 6 to 8 months after the halving. So we're right in the middle of it. I'm preparing my bags, preparing my portfolio. If you watched my last video, you know that I added 2 very degen plays into that altcoin portfolio. Make sure you watch that video if you haven't already. It's this one here, 2 100x altcoins. And thank you all to all of you who did end up watching that video already. And look, if you're just stumbling onto CryptoWise, I definitely hope you'll give us a chance this bull run. Hit that subscribe button. We have been around since 2020, but we have not been making regular videos for a while. Hopefully that is changing now. I am definitely hoping to dedicate more time to the channel and make sure I'm on here, letting you guys know what I'm doing, what I'm buying, what I'm selling, what else I'm looking at, and going through all the different various things in crypto and having a more regular conversation with you guys about that. All right, today I wanted to talk to you about some of the major trends that are happening in the altcoin space. As always, there is a ton going on in crypto. So today I wanted to touch upon 2 of the major things that people have been talking about more recently and let you know what I'm doing, if anything, in regards to these trends or new developments within the altcoin space. The first one is ERC-404. What the heck is ERC-404? You might have heard about this, or maybe some of you are actually investing in these collections already. If you are, please let me know in the comments which ones have you invested in if you have already. Now, just to let you know what old Milty is doing, well, so far I'm not doing anything in the ERC-404 space. I have not invested in any of the projects that have come out, but I am following it. I do think it is a major breakthrough in crypto. I just think it's a bit too early for me anyway to be investing in it. I'm looking at some other things right now in terms of allocating my capital to, especially with these early things. Like, you know, you're going to notice if you're new to crypto in this bull run, there are going to be tons of things coming at you fast and furious, and it can be hard to know which of the new trends to try to like jump on and you know, do you need to get in early? Look, ERC-404 could be the new NFT craze. Last bull run, NFTs were essentially invented. I mean, they were invented way before that, but they became kind of mainstream. And the certainly the PFP collections that we know now, like CryptoPunks and Bored Apes, and all those collections that are now very valuable, even though they've gone down huge from their peak value, they're still very valuable considering they all started at nothing. And I do remember the last bull cycle, that last run, I was following NFTs, but I did not get in early. I had a chance of getting in early on some of the Bored Apes and other collections because I was following it and decided not to go in on it. Now, some other things I did go in on early, and that proved to be very profitable as well. But in most cases, there are so many new things in crypto. A lot of them will go up really quickly in value, as we're seeing with the ERC-404 projects. And it's just hard to know when something pumps that quickly, have you missed the boat, or is that just the beginning of something? And you kind of have to make your own choices in terms of what you're going to do. That's where I think having a strategy around your capital and what you want to do with it is super important in crypto. Otherwise, you can, you know, really get taken away with all the new things and hearing everyone buying and just kind of FOMOing into things. And that, I have learned my lesson. If you do that just willy-nilly over a bunch of different things, ultimately you end up losing usually on that. What I like to do with my capital then is have a certain amount of my capital for new tokens, new projects, and new trends. And then I decide from that portion of my capital what to do with it. And that allows me, when there are new tokens coming out or whatnot, that I have a special allocation that I can kind of use or not use. In this case, ERC-404, even though I think it's a big deal and is going to change the landscape of NFTs, over the long run, I've decided not to invest in any of the collections that have come out so far. I will talk about a couple of the ones that are out there and let you know how they've been doing. But I do think it's important to keep up to date on all the new trends in crypto as much as is possible. And I think this one is big enough that you really should understand what it is and why it's different and how it might affect the industry. So let's go through this article together here on Decrypt. What is ERC-404? The experimental semi-fungible Ethereum token standard. So established token standards for Ethereum include fungible ERC-20 tokens and non-fungible ERC-721 tokens. So if you don't know what that means, essentially any of the traded tokens that have come out on Ethereum are ERC-20 standard tokens. That means that all the tokens are fungible. They're all the same. So like Ethereum itself, if I own one ETH and you own one ETH, we don't care which ETH that we own. All ETH essentially are the same. And so that's what's called a fungible token. And that's the ERC-20 standard. That's the kind of standard that all tokens that launch on Ethereum are created in. Then we had the non-fungible tokens, or the NFTs, where it does actually matter which particular token you have, and each token is unique. And that's the ERC-721 token. That became the main standard for NFTs on Ethereum. So what this ERC-404 is doing, it's basically kind of a blend of both. And we'll go through this article and I'll explain what that means. Now, an experimental and unofficial new token standard. Important to note, this is still an unofficial new token standard. So there are many, many token standards that are unofficial on ETH, people just experimenting, but it takes a long time and a lot of safety checks that go through the Ethereum Council for them to become standard issued tokens, which happened with ERC-20 and ERC-721. Right now, ERC-404 is still just in an experimental stage. So another reason maybe to be careful when you're investing in the ERC-404 standard. So ERC-404 aims to combine elements of both into a single semi-fungible digital asset. ERC-404 is a new token standard for digital assets on the Ethereum blockchain developed by pseudonymous creators CTRL and ACME, so Control and Acme. What are token standards? Well, token standards are formal sets of rules and protocols that determine the behavior of tokens on blockchain networks such as Ethereum. ERC-404 combines features of ERC-20 and ERC-21, enabling the creation of semi-fungible tokens that employ features from fungible and non-fungible tokens. NFTs are non-fungible, meaning that they are unique and indivisible, so you can't own fractions of an NFT. Until now. ERC-404 circumvents this limitation by using token mint and burn mechanisms to enable fractionalized transfers of an NFT. Issued tokens are linked to an NFT. If you buy a full token, the linked NFT is minted in your wallet, and if you sell a fraction of the token, the linked NFT is then burned. So if a wallet holding fractions of a token purchases enough fractions to hold a complete token, a new NFT is minted automatically. So hopefully that makes sense. Basically, with a regular NFT collection, say there's usually like 10,000 collectibles, and you can buy and sell that collectible, and there's 10,000 different ones, but you can't sell a fraction of that NFT. So let's take We Are the Walrus, for example, because if you watch this channel, you know I'm a huge fan of We Are the Walrus. I just love the art. I've loved them since they've come out. So they've kind of become kind of a nostalgic favorite for me. So We Are the Walrus is on Solana, but this kind of is applicable to Ethereum NFTs because obviously we're talking about Ethereum based standards of tokens. Now, there are similar things happening on Solana, but that's for another video. But just to explain what ERC-404 means, taking this as an example, I can own a We Are the Walrus, like say this guy. I can buy him, I can sell him, but that's about it. I can't sell you just a fraction of him if I own this NFT. But what ERC-404 does is basically you have that NFT now representing a bunch of ERC-20 tokens. So it's both that non-fungible token if you own one of it. So if you own one of that token, that NFT appears in your wallet. But say you own one of the tokens, but you want to sell half that token like you can do with the ERC-20 tokens. You can sell half that token, then that NFT disappears from your wallet and you only own half of that token and that will appear in your wallet as a token. So in this way, you can fractionalize NFTs and divide them into as many parts as you want, but until you have one full one, the actual NFT does not appear in your wallet. So anyway, that's the gist of what ERC-404s are. And if you go to CoinMarketCap is actually really good about this. They add very new trends very quickly. So if you see here, they've got, in their kind of menu bar right now, they get these little fire icons beside what is trending, what's hot. Right now, you've got Solana ecosystem. And then right beside it are ERC-404. They also have gaming and DPIN. But I'm on the ERC-404 category here. Pandora is the big one. That might be the one that you've heard about. I think that was the first one that launched. And that's been a wild ride already. As you can see, the price of it is at $20,500 right now. It did go all the way up to, let's see what the all-time high was, over 30,000. So it went basically from 4,000 to over 30,000. Then it came back down. It looked like it was going to crash, and everyone was like, is it over? Is it over already? Now it's back up over 20. So we'll see. But Pandora is the big collection. And the thing about this new technology is that the token has way more liquidity that way. So when NFTs came out a couple of years ago, people had discovered ways of maybe fractionalizing NFTs. They had all sorts of different like auction sites or whatnot, or marketplaces where they would be able to fractionalize. But the thing was, if it's not a standard token, then it's like just that one platform where you have to try to fractionalize your NFT. This could be way more universal if this catches on, so that that token, say like in Pandora's case, right now it's trading on Uniswap, but ultimately it could, be picked up by any centralized exchange or all the dexes and stuff like that. So there'll be way more liquidity for being able to buy and sell NFTs through this fractionalized aspect. A couple of the other big names so far in this space are Defrogs, Monarch, 404 Bakery. Defrogs, if we take a look at Defrogs here, you can see this is the collection on OpenSea. So these are the NFTs. This is what they look like. So again, you can buy and trade these tokens as NFTs or as tokens on Uniswap. So basically, you can either go on Uniswap here and buy one Defrog for $1,300, and then that will generate an NFT in your wallet, or you can go to OpenSea and buy it as an NFT and get the one that actually looks like here, and then you could sell it on the open market for one token, which is worth $1,300 right now. The interesting thing about this from a collector's perspective, because if you watch this channel, you know I am also big into the NFT collecting space. I love it. The weird thing about the buying and trading, which I haven't quite wrapped my head around, is a new NFT is generated every time one token is filled into a wallet. Say I bought half a token on Uniswap, and then I bought another half, and it would then automatically mint an NFT in my wallet. Well, that is generating, and from what I understand, at least, that is generating a new NFT, so a different one of these. So, but as an NFT collector, I like to collect, certain attributes, certain rarity, and that's a big aspect of, the art aspect of NFTs, and also the collectible aspect of NFTs. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work here in the ERC-404 space. That's why, in my point of view, as of now, I think this is going to be a huge utility for NFTs that will go way beyond the collectible asset group. It will be, like something like, say, real estate, that people have been trying to tokenize real estate and buy and trade real estate. Well, this kind of, to me, works really well for the ERC-404, where you could have an NFT that represents, say, an apartment, and then you could fractionalize that ownership of your apartment if you wanted. But then it can all come together. If someone buys the whole apartment, then they have the NFT, which basically represents, the ownership of the full apartment. So I see it more for that sort of utility right now. But the great thing about crypto, the exciting thing about it, is when these new sort of things come out, you don't know what they're going to turn into really exactly at the beginning. You put these in the hands of really smart engineers and coders and artists, and they start coming up with all sorts of different ideas and utilities for these things that aren't really dreamed up of at first. And so I'm really excited to see where this ends up going. But as I said, for now, to me, it's a really big breakthrough in crypto. It's a hot trend right now in trading. Obviously, a lot of people have made good money off of this stuff already so far, but I'm staying out of it. That's, at least for me, for now, staying out of it. I haven't seen anything really to make me go like, yeah, I have to get this now. I just don't know really where it's going right now. And from a collectible NFT standpoint, I much rather pick and choose my collectibles and keep them as collectibles more than kind of things that I can fractionalize in that way. But definitely curious from you guys, CryptoWisers out there, please, in the comments, let me know. Are you guys into these ERC-404s? What do you think the future of them is? What do you think the impact on NFTs is right now in the near future? Do you think just all collections from now on will just end up opting for the 404 standard instead of the 721 standard? Or do you think this is just a fad that's going to go away? Anyway, let me know in the comments. I really love to hear from you guys and what you guys think about all this stuff. Okay, the next big trend that has been going on now for months, restaking. And so it's something I want to talk about because it is something that this is something I am participating in currently a little bit. I'd like to be doing more, to be honest, but at the moment, my Ethereum bags are pretty small compared to some of my other bags. And I'm trying to decide if I want to allocate more capital into Ethereum, mostly so I can get more access and participate more in this restaking trend. So this is an article on Medium that I found. There's lots of articles out there explaining restaking, but I thought this one was pretty decent. And it touches on Eigen Layer, which is really the big player in the restaking and the innovation around restaking. And it's the platform that I want to talk about today because I think it's really important. I think it's going to be the biggest airdrop in crypto this year. So I think if it's not on your radar yet, then it should be. And also, I think it's just good, even for if you think you understand restaking, even for me, when I kind of understand a concept like something like ERC-404, which I just went through, and, I do a bunch of research. Usually I go back and do even more research, try to understand it even more as things evolve, and try to rethink about things after I've used different crypto platforms and things like that. So I think it's always good to go back to basics and really try to understand what this stuff is. So this is a pretty decent article here. So let's go through it together. In this blog, we'll explore the emerging trend of restaking with Eigen Layer and its potential in Ethereum staking landscape. So an overview of staking Ethereum. Staking plays a pivotal role in securing a proof of stake blockchain. So if you're new to crypto, there's a couple of major ways that blockchains can be secured. One is through proof of work, which is what Bitcoin is. A few other ones. Most of the altcoins are proof of stake. And Ethereum originally was proof of work and just switched over to proof of stake. I think it was a couple of years ago now. But that has changed the landscape for sure in terms of Ethereum, because now you can stake your Ethereum and get revenue, which is the staking rewards. Staking is network participants can stake a certain amount of the chain's native currency to earn passive income alongside supporting network security. So by staking your tokens, you are helping the network become secure, and you're rewarded for that through the passive income of staking rewards. So over 25 million ETH or 40 billion worth has already been staked on Ethereum. There are almost 800,000 active validators, along with 35,000 pending validators on chain. So that's what staking is. So what is restaking? Restaking ETH is the act of staking the same ETH across Ethereum and other platforms, amplifying trust across networks. While staking sets the foundation of Ethereum's crypto economic security, restaking further extends the protocol's security offerings to various applications on the network. Eigen Layer is a protocol built on the Ethereum blockchain, revolutionizes crypto economic security, allowing new projects to borrow Ethereum's robust security. By incorporating restaking as a new primitive, Eigen Layer empowers users to actively borrow Ethereum security offerings and validate new applications on the network, thereby strengthening the overall integrity and resilience of the Ethereum ecosystem alongside the protocols leveraging Eigen Layer, further reducing the startup cost of protocols. Eigen Layer operates as a decentralized trust market on Ethereum. Protocols can initiate operations at reduced costs by utilizing Ethereum's strong security layer. Stated simply, restaking within the Eigen Layer protocol allows users who have staked their ETH to actively participate in extending crypto economic security to various applications on the network. Eigen Layer's restaking introduces a dynamic approach that allows users to continuously engage with the network security. Through restaking, Eigen Layer incentivizes users to actively adapt and extend crypto economic security to emerging applications. So I do think that restaking, the fact that Ethereum moved to proof of stake is huge for crypto in so many different ways. In the same way that when Uniswap figured out a way to create these liquidity pools so that you could have decentralized exchanges, the fact that Ethereum switched to staking, I think has created a whole new category of DeFi, which is going to be surrounded around Ethereum staking and manipulating that or adding to it, innovating on top of it to allow people to earn even more yield from it while being able to create a way more decentralized and secure industry within crypto. And Eigen Layer is one of the major cutting edge at the forefront of restaking projects, and they don't have a token yet. So they are going to, we think, airdrop their token this year at some point. And so any, as I said, I don't have a ton of Ethereum right now, but any Ethereum I have, I am putting towards restaking through Eigen Layer so that I can hopefully qualify for the Eigen Layer airdrop. But on the other hand, restaking, you're maximizing your yield. So in a way, it's kind of a no-brainer on both ends, and is really why I am really debating putting way more of my capital right now into Ethereum so that I can participate in this, knowing that one, I'm getting the rewards for the staking and restaking, but then also hopefully participating in this airdrop. So the way to participate in Eigen Layer, so basically you stake your ETH on any of the protocols that they accept here: Rocket Pool, Binance staked Ether, Liquid staked Ether, StakeWise, Origin staked Ether, Anchor staked Ether, Lido staked Ether, Coinbase staked Ether. So many of the major places people are already staking their ETH. So you take that liquid staked ETH, say Lido, for example, and then you would come in here and restake it with Eigen Layer. Now, this is still a test chain. Eigen Layer has not gone, their main chain hasn't launched yet. Once that launches, that's when everyone thinks the token will launch and the airdrop will happen. Obviously, there is smart contract risk here. Do your own research. Anytime you work with these smart contract platforms, you're adding to your risk, obviously. So just know that. So these pools do end up capping out. They do only take a certain amount, but they're raising these caps on a regular basis. So if they are full, just keep in mind that they usually will raise that cap. And so be ready if you want with your staked ETH to be able to join. So, for me, the ones I've used Swell staked here because they had some room, and also Swell staked Ether. Swell also doesn't have a token yet, so maybe you'll qualify for an airdrop there also. So that's one that I use. But another one that should be on your radar is EtherFi. And this is the first one I used actually. By getting EtherFi, you automatically are gaining Eigen Layer points. So they're up to $1 billion in staked ETH, which is incredible, because this is the first one I used, and this has gone up huge since I started using them. Over 423,000 ETH are staked with them now. So the good thing about this one is you don't have to worry about the cap. So if you get yourself some EtherFi, you are automatically getting that Eigen Layer points. As you can see here, thank you for participating in Mega Week. Points calculation in progress, badge update incoming soon. That's the Eigen Layer there. So you can either go through EtherFi or any of these other ETH staking pools. But ETH restaking, I think it's a huge innovation in crypto. I think that there's going to be a lot more innovation on top of it. This is still just scratching the surface of what it's going to be, but I think this is going to be a big part of crypto in this next bull run. And for me, now is a great time because you're potentially earning those airdrop tokens, which is awesome, obviously. But even beyond that, I think this is going to be a big step for me in terms of taking profit from my altcoins, putting that in ETH, staking that ETH, and then restaking that ETH and getting some good sustainable yield from that. Well, I'm on the topic of airdrops. I should mention also that Wormhole, which has been one of the more popular bridge options in crypto to basically move assets from one chain to another, they've announced that their long anticipated airdrop is going to be happening, and that the snapshot for that airdrop has been taken. This has been a very long process, years in the making, 3 long years as it were, but it seems like it's finally going to happen. But anyway, if you're someone who has been used to using Wormhole and you were anticipating being earning that airdrop? Well, just know that apparently that snapshot has been taken. So I've moved on personally to using some of the other bridges that are out there that don't have a token yet, that are probably going to do their own airdrop. And the top two on my list for that are Jumper Exchange, Jumper.exchange, and also the DSwap from dBridge Finance. Those are two that I think will also do airdrops eventually. So now that wormhole is passed and you're not going to qualify for the airdrop, when I am doing bridging, I am using these two now, Jumper and DSwap, for the time being. Now, I am a bit scared of bridges. One of the reasons why I love Polkadot and other interoperable chains is because it's the XCM messaging is much more safe than using these bridges. A lot of hacks have happened on these bridges. So just be very careful. Don't take them as the technology being foolproof or anything like that. I only ever send small amounts over bridges when I do use them. And for the most case, I don't use them to bridge off of Ethereum, just because the gas prices can be astronomical, especially recently. So, but they can be useful for moving them, say, from one layer two to another, or even something like BNB, which is cheap. But, going from a Polygon to an Optimism, or an Arbitrum to an Optimism, that sort of thing, I'll use it. And every once in a while, I'll even use it to bridge over some stuff from Solana to other chains. But those are the two that I'm using now, and hopefully that will, in the future, somewhere down the line, qualify me for the airdrop. That's it for today's video. I really wanted to touch on those trends because I know that people were asking me about it and what I was doing specifically in terms of ERC-404s and in restaking and for the airdrop stuff. So those are the kind of key big trends and what I'm doing with them. I'll be getting into some more altcoins very soon. Hopefully going to get Marv on the channel again soon to talk about some of the altcoins that he's doing. Guys, this is really exciting times. Super, super exciting times in crypto. We're going to be here on a regular basis. So hopefully you will subscribe to CryptoWise and be with us through this journey. And of course, follow us over on X at CryptoWise Guys. That's at CryptoWise Guys. And if you're there, well, you follow us, say hello, let me know. Like, I love talking to people on X. And it's a good way to chat with everyone and hear from you, what you're into, what you're excited about in crypto. So please stop by X and say a quick hello. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining me. I'm Milton. And as always, until next time, over and out.